Okay, so we just got a little bit to finish up here about field of view and measuring cells. So one reason why it might be interesting, or how can knowing the field of view at a particular magnification help scientists? Well, let's say if you're a scientist, you're looking at this, you know you're looking at it 40 times magnification. You know your field of view is from here to here is 45 millimeters. So you could then potentially figure out, well, how big is this cell? And that's exactly what scientists do. They use field of view so they can calculate the size of the cells that they're looking at under any particular magnification. And that's what you're going to be asked to do in these next few slides and during the verbal quiz. Okay, so let's do some practicing with that. Okay, so let's say that you are looking through a microscope and at an unknown magnification, but you do have a field of view here across with diameter. This is 1 millimeter right here. You could say that, well, the entire field of view as well. This is 1 millimeter, 1.1, 1.2 over here, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. Each one has a little bit left over, so maybe this is 1.6 millimeters total across. But what is the size of one of these cells? Well, two cells are 1 millimeter, so what's one cell? Well, half of 1 millimeter is 0.5. 0.5 millimeters, or 500 micrometers. All right, try this one. Gives you the field of view again. From here to here is 1.5 millimeters. So then what's the size of one of these cells? Well, if you divide 1.5 by 3, there's 3 cells, 1, 2, 3. Each one looks to be about the same size. So this one's probably 0.5, and this one's 0.5, and this 0.5. So the diameter of each cell. Sometimes it helps if you draw lines with your pencil. If you see this on a test, it's completely fine. You can do that. 0.5 millimeters. But not this one. It's a little trickier because it's not necessarily centered. It's not off to one side, but that's what it might look like when you're looking through a microscope. Draw that line again, yeah. 0.5 millimeters, right? Because here, from here to here would be 1 centimeter. If you do another one here, that'd be 0.5. You can tell that this cell would probably fit in between a half of a millimeter, or 500 micrometers. And sometimes you're not going to totally know, and you're going to have to take your best guess. And as long as you're fairly accurate, and you write down something that seems close, you're going to get credit. So I'm sorry that we went over into a second video here, but I wanted to give you a lot of examples so you had experience seeing this, so when you do it yourself, it's easier. You can always come back and look at the slideshow to completion without my audio, but hopefully you do look through it with me as your guide at least once. So what are some things you're going to have to do for me in your verbal quiz? Well, you're going to have to calculate magnification. You're going to have to know how to do that. So you have an objective lens of 10 and a magnification of your an ocular lens of 10 and your objective lens of 4. 10 times 4, that would be 40 times magnification. You have to explain to me how to make a wet mount preparation, how to add something to it once you've made it, and also how to calculate the field of view, which includes knowing how to read a ruler and calculating the size of a particular organism. So this is the part 2 of the microscopes and field of view. Now it's your turn to practice a little bit and look at some video clips on the assignments. You can also go through this slideshow again with me or without it on screen.